Alright, so I'm back with another video about the waiting for next beta mod. We're pretty much done with everything we're going to do until beta 3 comes out in a few weeks. The only thing I'm going to change is just a few minor things, just because they're sort of bugging me, but they're not really that crucial. The game actually turned out really fun. I commented in one point that this is probably exactly what the game would look like if it was, released a few weeks ago instead of next fall. And honestly, I think that this game would sell pretty damn well. It's a lot of fun, at least to me. Huh. Got some interesting movement abilities here because of these roads. Alright, so what I wanted to show is I finally got a level 5 city, which is harder to do in this version. So I think it's 1,000 population. Yeah, it has to say 1 ... before you're going to get to level 5. And what I chose to build... Wow, I wish I had like a city view thing here that would show all the buildings. Let's see, where is it? These are in alphabetical order, I thought. Oh, you know what? It's because it's being built right now. Tenfell University. I think it's over here. Yeah, I'm building it right here. So basically, what that's going to do is double the research I get from population. So research per population is 0.1, and I'm getting 50.3. But one thing this doesn't show is it's actually 0.05 because I have slums, and slums give you 50% less research per population, but then it doubles your population. So basically it allows me to have about 600 more population than I should be getting, which will allow me to get to level 5, but I'm not going to get that good research bonus. So I built Tenfell University, which will basically reverse the effect and allow me to get 0.1 per population again. It also gives me, I think, plus 3 or 4 intelligence for trained units as a bonus, which will make their XP increases better and also allow them to have better spell mastery and spell resistance, which is a huge bonus. Also, it opens up mage's robes for my heroes, which will give them some resistances to magic, higher spell mastery, and reduce the cost of tactical spells. So, that's a pretty strong bonus, but the other great thing that it does is it gives you a faction-wide bonus of plus 25% research, which means that my overall research, which you can't see here because I'm in a low-resolution version, will go up by 25%, which is, I think, going to be about 30 research. From what I'm doing right now. It'll basically put me back in the research game. I've been sort of ignoring research and just keeping my taxes at 0. But now I'm going to have a chance to get ahead of everybody. One of the things I'm going to do for Beta 3 is go through the unit designs and give each AI-built unit traits, 3 traits, or actually probably end up being 2 traits. I don't know what I want to do yet. But basically just make them, at least function on a basic level. And maybe add 6 to 10 per faction to give each faction some unique options for the AI. Because right now it still feels like I'm just playing the same 10 factions on every side of me. I don't like that. Although I have to say I captured this Empire City, and it really does look nice and different compared to my other cities. It's a very noticeable difference. I have 2 of them. The Yithril went to war with me, and after some really difficult siege battles, I was able to defeat them. See, let's look at this one. They get 3 assassin demons, which gain plus 20 health per kill. So I was in a point where one of them was about to kill some of my weaker tank units I had in my front line, and I was like, oh, I need to move those guys to the rear before they get hit, because they're just going to restore almost all the health of this assassin demon. Well, I didn't do it in time, and the assassin demon got a critical hit. It wiped him out and restored all of his health, made the battle that much harder. Then they have City Archer Militia, which is odd that it shows up here, but it doesn't spawn on defense. Not quite sure what the problem is there. And City Militia is... they are spawning. And it's weird because these are literally the exact same files, just with different weapons equipped. So I'm not quite sure what's happening. But I'll look into it. Oh, one thing that you shouldn't note is the unit limit for cities is now 18, which allows a full-sized army to teleport through a city, regardless of how many units are on the inside. Unless you decide to stack 18 units in your cities, which I don't advise, because it'll screw up your defense. So just pretend like it's 9 and use it for its intended purpose. I'm sure they'll fix that bug in the next beta version. Although the whole point of this is that we have to wait like what, a month in between new versions, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of new things to mod in the next one. Oh, one thing that we're definitely going to add is the Heaven Falls unit stat background stats. They make the game so much more interesting. Like you can there's just pretty much everything that you'd want to do tactically, like say, oh, this guy's got a lot of armor, I want to use a spell that will hurt everyone with a ton of metal armor but not with leather armor. Well, we can't do that unless we use background stats on everything, so that's something that we're definitely adding. I think everyone can agree that the whole background stat thing is a brilliant idea. I hope the devs latch onto it too. I don't know if they even know about it or are planning on using it, because I think that it was an invention of Heaven Falls. Or maybe he saw the unit stat is mounted and sort of just made it a lot more usable for the like everything basically. I think that's how it went. Alright. Another thing that isn't visible is that Clay Quarry gives 2 materials now. Because clay quarries are so rare, and materials are not useless, but not as useful as grain, I decided to make Clay Quarry do +2 materials, and horse pasture or whatever you get from domestication gives you +2 grain. So you have a little variance in resources. But Clay Quarry also, it takes a while to construct now. Oh, I do need to build something here. Ah, yes, more slums. For some reason, playing as Capitar, slums are just always the best choice. It's a lot of fun. Not to get too topical here, but look at me city snake to this river. So much fun to do that. I really wish that they would move to the one-tile system before they started faction differentiation. But they probably know best. You get some good diplomatic capital here, which I can then use to recruit. I think I have some mercenaries on my outskirts that I want to recruit. Mercenaries are expensive, but they work really well for Capitar. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's 50 gold to build the camp and 30 gold per unit, or per soldier in your unit. So a group of 5 would be 150 gold, but they have no wages per turn. So you spend some diplomatic... Or no, you only spend gold. You don't spend any diplomatic capital, come to think of it. And in the long term, I think after about 100 turns, if you keep them, well maintained and alive, they'll actually save you money, which is exactly what Capitar would try to do, is, spend lots of money in the short term to gain benefits in the long term. It's pretty much how I play them anyways. Oh, I've got an army of Naja over here. I wanted to test them and see how powerful they are. They should be really, really powerful. I wanted them to be a scary thing on the battlefield. Yeah, they've got Venomous 2, pretty good dodge, pretty good accuracy, and these are only level 5. Um, Alright, so this is turn 166, which is about where the mid-game is just starting to take place. And you can see a huge difference here from my last game because I made expansion much easier, especially for Capitar, and I actually got this starting position, which is nice. It's in a corner, and I was able to cut things off with outposts on either side, and sort of basically cut this off from anyone else using it, and then expand to this to this town, and then I think I expanded here and then here, because I knew all this was safe already. So I sort of I use an expansionist philosophy to gain a strong early game, but none of my cities would grow because I didn't have enough prestige to keep them all growing, and it takes forever to get an inn built. An inn costs a lot of labor, so you'd basically have to build a city, build lumber mill, build workshop, and then build inn. So you're looking at maybe 75 turns for a fledgling city to become something that can grow to level 2. But if you're Capitar, you get so much income per turn, you can rush by an inn or a workshop or a lumber mill at any point when you have the extra cash flow to sort of decide, okay, well, this city has a lot more potential than the other ones. I'm going to increase the speed at which it develops. It's really like, I mean, I don't think that every faction should play this way, but I do think that whatever faction differentiation they do in the main game should sort of follow this example for Capitar. They should get cheaper rush buys, so that they can't do it everywhere, but they can use a more capitalistic approach to their money and sort of treat it like these are capital gains and I'm going to invest them. I'm sure, you know, the CEO of a company like Stardock understands what I mean by most of that, probably better than I do. I'm not too much of an economist. Still need to research wargs. Huh. Oh, it's a mite lair. I can't build on mite lairs. Also, I haven't taken the loot from it yet. Alright. Oh. For some reason, when I updated this new mod, it flipped back the map color. Usually I have a more vibrant orangish map color, so it looks more like leather. But that's something I can change pretty easily in the next game. I'm starting to keep a notepad of all the changes I want to make because there's so much stuff that bothers me from game to game. And I generally forget to change half of it, start a game, and then have to go back through and change it all. Alright. That turn took a really long time. I noticed that if the AI is doing lots of stuff, like there's lots of war going on, or someone's on an expedition to destroy monsters somewhere, you can sort of tell when it's happening because the game will lag for a bit. But I'm playing on the lowest possible resolution. I think it's 1024 by 780. So things are just so much smoother for me. I have everything turned all the way down. I hope that you can turn it down lower than this in the release version, though, because this is a 7x6 game. Wait, let's see. See, this is what I was talking about. See, map size is 7x6, which is 70 by 60 tiles. I would like to increase that to at least 25 by 25, or maybe even 50 by 50 once the game finally releases, and maybe even, you know, like give us the ability to just reduce the graphics to the point of near obscurity, and then maybe add in some modability so that I can, you know, if it's one-tile cities, like maybe disable the city view screen or something, so that I can just have, you know, a massive game that runs at a reasonable speed. Of course, by the time we have release, I'll have a much better computer, so I'll be more flexible, hopefully. Alright, oh yes, I wish I could just easily click on the tech tree. Ah. So, if you look here, I have a level 4 city, a level 5 city, I just captured 2 level 4 cities from the AI, and I have, I think, a few level 3s, and the rest are all level 2 or 1. So I don't have too many cities, but my research is really starting to increase quickly. I know that pace will be different in Beta 3, so it's probably moot, but one of the things that I would like to see is, I mean, look at this. Basically, these are all nothing text now, and I'm about at the mid-game. What I would like is for something like, once you get past, armor weaponsmithing drills and the mounts, and you start to get into heavy armor or longbows, these should feel more specialized. And so instead of, it looks like they're about double to 3 times what it costs, I would think that, heavy armor should be maybe, like at this rate that I'm at, this should cost maybe 25 turns. Longbow should be about 15. Squads. See, this is the thing that I don't think the devs realize is squads are like unit grouping sizes are the most important aspect of warfare. Like everything else kind of matters, but having more soldiers per unit is by far the most powerful thing. But instead, they make war colleges 95 turns. And really, I think squads should be 95 turns, and war colleges should be maybe 20 turns. Because what does this really give me? It gives me enmity. So, like basically, I can double up on barracks in one city, and it gives me longsword. That's not. I mean, that's just. It's not that important to the game. I could skip this tech for the rest of the game, and I will skip this tech for the rest of the game, because it's not taking me anywhere. It's not doing anything for me. Squads, much more important. Longbows, 10 times more important. Heavy armor, extremely important, so assuming that I have metal. Let's see what opportunity cost would be. This is 95 turns, so I could get heavy armor, longbows, squads, and advanced archery instead of war colleges. So the question that I think that balance-wise we need to ask is war colleges better than heavy armor, longbows, squads, and advanced archery? And of course the answer will be no. This is particularly bothersome because fortresses are about the same cost and in the next tier. And I guess war colleges does open up the way to weapons of war and formations, but honestly, weapons of war is irrelevant because weaponsmithing unlocks things in the magic tree. It unlocks magical forging, and arcane weapons are, in some respect, like that. I think it opens up arcane weapons, which are a million times more powerful than weapons of war. I mean, I've modded these, so it's a little more balanced. But 16 pierce attack for a 200 weapon is sort of lame for the end game. I might have to increase that. Great Sword is actually a pretty good bonus for like a Trog, or if you're getting a lot of strength from some sort of bonus. I think Earth Mages get a bonus or aura of strength that they could use with that. Maul does 150% strength bonus. So if you wanted to make some like Stormtroopers with Mauls, that might be the way to go. But it doesn't make sense that the gateway is war colleges, or that the gateway is so expensive. It sort of turns you off to the end game of warfare, especially since anyone who's specialized this much in warfare is probably not that great at research, because all the research things are all the way through here. Now, if you look at the equivalent tiers in Civilization, which is what I've been specializing in, being Capitar, I can get 2 higher tier techs from War College. Sorry, I feel like I'm picking on War College, but it kind of deserves it. I mean, literacy is a huge bonus. That's another 30% research in cities, and tech treaty, which is going to increase how much other civilizations like me. That's a huge bonus. Alliances are pretty much invaluable. You can win the game with alliances. Craftsmanship, again, siege factory. If you don't have the most powerful army, catapults will greatly increase your ability. Now, refined agriculture and production, they're not ever going to be worth it. I mean, I would never choose these. I would just probably go for a tech victory before getting either one of those. I'll need to balance those at some point. I haven't really looked at balancing techs because I know how different they looked in the videos we saw. And then Storm Dragon camp is entirely situational. But if you notice, the Civ techs are so much cheaper than Warfare techs, and really, I think they do a lot more. Like Academy Revelation, or I guess they do more in my version. I should caveat that. It's 3 maintenance, but it's a world wonder. It'll give me another 25% research in all my cities, plus 5 intelligence for train units, and plus 6 faction prestige. Plus, I think it unlocks Archmage's robe, which I didn't put on it as it provides, but I'm almost certain it does. So that would still be more valuable than war colleges. I think that something is probably already done about that, but if it isn't, it should be on somebody's list somewhere. I haven't done much magical stuff. I don't have any access to crystals, and I didn't feel like wasting my only level 5 city level up bonus on Amethyst Vault, which gives you plus 8 crystal, but plus 8 crystal doesn't really go that far in my mod, because you need plus 1 crystal per turn to do Guardian statues, and that gives you plus 3 Guardian defenders. Very valuable building to build on your frontiers. Or if you're in a major war, you can pretty much just set it and forget it with Guardian statue. But, you know, there's enchantment weapons. They're pretty decent if I wanted to make mages. But the really powerful mage stuff doesn't come until so much later, and I didn't want to have to sort of sift through all these weaker techs that I don't really need that much. I got a lot of items from all my monster killing. So, basically what my strategy is just go archery, longbows. Probably I'll switch over to magic, get recruiting, Iriak's journal, and Brion's letters, because there's a few heroes I'd like to recruit since I have the money now. I believe I increased the cost of level 9 units, although I haven't made them stronger. I just didn't want the AI to get them so easily. I can afford it. I don't think the AI can at this point. Ooh, actually, I should probably pick up drills too. I don't know. I'm not at war with anybody right now. This getting longbows thing was when I was still at war with Yithril, but I've wiped them out since then. Alright, so that was the tech thing that I wanted to show. I probably, in Beta 3, I'll deal more with techs, but we might have a whole new tech tree in 2 weeks, so there's no point in doing it this week. It might be interesting to look at what the AI's built. These 2 cities by Yithril were built really well. They were very well defended. It took me 2 of my best armies to take the first city, and then I was actually able to use the experience from that, heal them with magic, and then hit the next city, so that was kind of cheap, admittedly, but I mean, I guess I earned it. I took Al-Hain al-Hassan before I took their capital, which boosted my units up quite a bit for the subsequent attacks. And then after that, they were Yithril was wiped out, and they were forced to sign a peace treaty. It was great. One thing that Capdart always does when I play them is you go to war with them because they don't have an army. Then they rush by an army and defeat you. Then they basically take all your gold in the peace treaty, and then they use that gold to buy trade treaties with you, which then increases how much gold they get. So they make a huge profit off of completing a war, which is sort of the boon that I have right now. I have 0 taxes and I'm getting 128 Geldar per turn because I was able to sign a trade treaty with Yithril that was very unfair to them. Yeah, for some reason Altair's really doing well. Wish I could see more of their cities, but let's see what they do with this one. Alright, so they're definitely understanding the economy. They picked a 5-2 spot next to a grain, and then got 6-2. Oh no, they had a 4-3 spot, and then they added a bakery and farm to it. Or I guess it was a 4-2 spot. They did blacksmith bakery combo, which is basically -1 metal, +1 grain. That's a really good trade-off, really. Okay, so Yeah, they built Town Hall. The AI really understands how great Town Hall is. They've got 0% unrest, and they get a bonus to, or basically Town Hall will subtract maintenance from all resources besides mana. So instead of Blacksmith taking -1 per turn, it takes -0.66. Or, yeah, it's -0.66. I'm pretty sure I did it exactly 1/3. Which is a really smart play, especially if they were to build Guardian Statue. So let's see what level up choices they choose. This is Attica, their capital, keep in mind. It's only level 4, and they've already run out of food. They probably should have chosen Garden if they didn't. Yeah, they chose Merchant, which is +1 Guildar per material. That was a dumb choice. The AI doesn't understand. I need to change the AI for Merchant, because it should be only good for production, not for. I think it's thinking in that it's economy. That's one thing I'll have to look at. What was their next one? Oh yes, they chose Bakery at level 3, and at level 4, they chose Infirmary. Infirmary is actually a good choice for them. That's +2 growth, which actually was a bad choice considering how little grain or food they have. But healing +20 points per season to all station units means that essentially you've got unlimited power. Considering the number of heroes they snaked in the early game, that could be a very useful tool for defense or offense, which is probably why their faction power rating is so high. Alright, so they also added Brewery here, which was probably a good idea, but doesn't strike as useful anymore. And they've got a school, which is also good for a city with high unrest. They probably didn't need to build it. But, let's see, it looks like their taxes are set pretty well, and their economy is decent. They've only got -4 Guildar per turn, and with all their trade treaties and money making, I mean, they're more than making up for that. All in all, a pretty good city. The AI seems to understand most of the things. I just need to sort of add some nuances to it, which I won't do, because all of that will probably change in the next couple of betas. I don't know. If it turns out to be the same for Beta 3, I can just use the same logic I was before. But who knows, maybe Frogboy's been going through it and doing the same thing that I've been doing and changing the AI values as the game changes. But I don't think that he has. He's probably a lot more busy than I am. Alright, let's end one more turn and see if anything good happens. Nope. I really wish that random events were fixed. They're currently not working, which makes the game a lot more boring. Oh, this city may look like it's got something super powerful in it, but what I did was just settled next to the arena quest. I almost want to leave it there, because it's so nice to have one of those in a city. It just looks nice. And even the, sort of like the fencing sort of adds a nice little ambiance to the structure. I probably have enough power right now to wipe them out. Oh, if you're a common life wizard, one thing you should note is that Crusade, all trained units gain 1 level. This used to be a worldwide spell that would just give +1 level to all units on the field. But I felt like that was extremely overpowered, because if you had 1,000 mana, you could do that 4 times, and suddenly you've got a ton of level 5 troops. That's not fair. So what I did is made it essentially like Command Post. You cast it on a city. Mana cost is 250. It's a one-time cost, I believe. It might have a maintenance. Yeah, it's a 1 mana per turn to maintain. So in the end game, you're going to have a lot of extra mana, and since there's no Mana Blast, you don't go out searching for Sword of the Sovereign. Instead, you can cast Crusade on all of your cities that are building units, so that if you lose a level 10 unit, it's not going to end the game for you. You can just rebuild a new one at level 6 or 7. There's lots more ways to train a unit at a higher level in this one. Let's see, Cloud Walk. I added a range to Cloud Walk, so it probably doesn't function. If it says here, teleports the caster and their army to a tile in friendly territory that is a maximum of 6 tiles away. So I added a range value to the spell, but I'm told that that crashes the game. But in my opinion, if you're going to use teleporting, you might as well play a crash game, because I hate you, and you're breaking the game. Oh, Legacy of Serene turns out is what unlocks Aura of Commerce, and I think it does 20% bonus. Which is probably the only reason to take Legacy of Serene, is if you want to go for that. I think that Mantle of Fire is bugged in this version, but I'm sure it'll be fixed. But what I was looking for is Pillar of Flame. Yeah. We've got some nasty Earth Elementals, and 0 city defense. Okay, that did about 100 damage. And cast it once more. Oh, that did a lot more than 100 damage. I have a hero spec to be a fire mage. You need at least one hero to be a fire mage. Oh, okay, that's one good thing that I could show people. This is General Caritas. I gave him a nice looking beard and some facial scars. I think he looks better that way. Equipment. As you can see, he's been very successful in battle. He's got Brutal yew longbow. I think I made 3 or 4 different types of yew longbow, and not all of them will do pierced. But this one has a minus 50% strength bonus instead of minus 100%, which means that units with high strength can get bonus damage with a brutal bow. Any bow that says brutal will have only 50% strength bonus. Or strength penalty, I should say. I should say penalty. But basically the upshot is it does 33 pierce attack at range, weighs a little extra, and you can use your strength to force the arrows harder. It's got pretty standard equipment. If you look at loot, I divided everything by 10 in the worth categories, but then I realized that, or someone else realized that, well, if you sell demon horns, they used to be worth 80, now they're worth 8, so you sell them for 4, and which makes the loot useless. So I upped it to 40 Gildar for demon horns, because demons are pretty hard to kill. I think Spiderweb will give you 15 gold per. Basically, they put you well on your way to be able to rush buy stuff or buy items. If you notice, this is an enemy city, and they chose Archivist. Wait, no. They chose Scroll Scribe, which allows you to buy Blizzard Scroll, which is only 18 Gildar, and I believe will cast instantly or in only 2 turns. I forget which one I chose. But if you don't have any Frost Mages or any AoE Wizards, you can give one of these to every hero and cast 3 consecutive Blizzards on an army at a cost of 18 per Blizzard Scroll. And then, of course, Summon Air Elemental. Always a popular choice if your army's lacking. They don't have anything else that's too good. Healing Nectar is value 20, heals 25 hit points. Great if you don't have any life wizards. I don't think I changed anything else. Where are the rest of my heroes at? Yes, Baka the Beggar. This guy has had a long and arduous history. I think he's died 3 times. He has Gangrene Hand. People call him Bad Fist. And now he's the Beggar. Because he's got typhoid fever, and he's blind in one eye. Which sucks because I expect him as an assassin, and he's wearing an eye patch in my imagination now. Oh, right, but let's look at some of the trait changes that I made. Quick is +4 Dexterity, +1 Initiative. Dexterity is +4 Dexterity, which equals 2 Dodge, +2 Crit Chance. Path of the Assassin's the same. Precision is +5 to Accuracy. Makes his accuracy higher, which gives him a higher chance to crit. Although Blind in One Eye gives him -9 or -25% accuracy, so it sort of backfired on me there. I'm waiting to find a Potion of Restoration, which is why I'm going to start doing quests now to get this guy healed up, because he can be really powerful if I can just get rid of his damn injuries. Okay, this is something I screwed up. Master Scout gives the entire army +2 sight, +2 movement, which means that any army he's in is way overpowered. I didn't mean to have this be in the game, but I think it was required level 8 or level 7 to get. I would probably put it up at level 15, and under Path of the Protector. But I do like the idea that it's there. Maybe +1 movement, +2 sight for the whole army. Acrobat is +6 dexterity. That's obviously a great bonus. Impulsive, I don't think I changed impulsive. Oh no, you know what I did? I made it a high level requirement. You have to be high level to get impulsive now. True Strike, great option for an archer, especially an archer with terrible accuracy. And Gambler's Strike has a 50% chance to do triple damage and a 50% chance to miss. The tag's wrong on that, but just trust me, it'll do 3 times the damage. One thing that is great for fun but bad for balance is the Ignis Longbow is easily obtainable from a level 1 quest, the Escort Princess quest. So I got 2 of these from completing 2 of the 3 quests near me. Totally overpowered my heroes. That wasn't very fun. Oh no, it was a lot of fun. It wasn't very balanced, I should say. But I've switched this one to Spell Staff. This is my Fire Mage. Now note the subtle differences here in the way I've chosen this guy's traits. He's got Path the Mage, Summon 1. One thing to note is in the vanilla game, any summon 1 will be +1 level for summons for all players in the game, not just for the mage that you give it to, because the tag is for player instead of unit in the XML. So I've changed it in this version for only this unit to get the bonus. I don't know if people like or dislike that. So I gave him Impulsive, which is super rare now and requires a high level. He's also got Evoker, which is +50% spell damage. Spell Staff is +25% spell damage. Mage is +50% spell damage. And then he's got Fire Master, which means that he can cast Fireball. So the intended balance was that he would have a pretty good initiative. He's got 25 initiative plus Impulsive, so he in about the space of 1 turn of the enemy, he would be able to cast Fireball. But unfortunately, Impulsive, for some reason, is making him get a 2nd turn right away, and on that 2nd turn, Fireball is instantly castable, which is making Fireball way overpowered. So in the next balance, for me personally, I'm going to decrease the power of Fireball to 2 + 2 damage per Fire Shard, and then just sort of leave it at a casting time of 2, since that's what the game apparently wants it to be at, regardless of design. Well, that was a lot of talking and not a lot of playing, but hopefully some people found it interesting. Oh, one thing to note for Farmer's Market, it says +0.5 Gildar per material. It's supposed to say +0.5 Gildar per grain. That was a typo, but it should function on per grain. If you're wondering about Merchant Cross Bazaar, it's a huge bonus. It's a world wonder, and it takes forever to build. I actually ended up buying it and saving a ton of money. It's +2 Gildar per material, and +2 Gildar per grain. I swear that my provide said per grain. That's what I get for copy pasting. It happened here too. But the upshot is that it'll be +2 Gildar per grain and +2 Gildar per material, +3 faction prestige. So you get some growth bonus, and you get huge sort of sales abilities from the bazaar. But let's see how that actually affects my Gildar. I get plus 8 Gildar and plus 12 Gildar, so I'm getting plus 20 Gildar per turn from it. And considering how much it costs to build, time-wise, or by rush buying, I think it's pretty well balanced, even though it seems unbalanced. Because if you think about it, I spent 2,000 gold building it, so I haven't even gotten my returns back from it yet. Because I just built it recently. So, before people start to think that things are unbalanced, not that anyone else couldn't realize the same thing that I did, you should think about what it actually costs to build it time-wise, because in the space of, I think it's 4,500 labor, you could build 10 units, which is just about a full army. So it might not even be the best idea to build it. And if you're going to rush buy it like Capitar might, well then you really need to be able to justify that economic bonus. Which in my case I can, because I also have a bank in that city, and bank increases Gildar production by 50%, which means that I'm getting an additional 50% bonus to every one of those Gildar. Not too shabby. I really like the way that buildings are sort of having these random interactions that make specialization more interesting. I hope other people are enjoying it too. Ah, yes. For Serene, I ended up turning it into a prison city. It just made sense. If you look at it, it's got 6 materials, and prison increases material production by a lot. In fact, no reason why I can't show it. Plus 10 production per material. And plus 1 gold per material. That should say Gildar. Oh well. Plus minus 15% unrest in all cities. And if you look, those bastard AIs casted Antipathy twice on this city. And I had to cast Bless twice to get it minus 10% unrest. And I'm going to do it another 2 times as soon as I get more mana. To do so, it's really annoying that the AI is so vindictive. We weren't even at war yet, or even competitors. I was on the very bottom of the faction power list. And 2 separate times they cast it on me within the space of 5 turns. It's like, okay, you guys must have a lot of extra mana, because that's, I think it's 6 mana per turn to cast those spells on someone. Which is probably why they didn't have any magic when I fought them. Idiots. I'll probably turn down the AI value for those, just because it bothers me so much. I've only got 5% unrest, so I think I'll build Fort. Forts make the cities look nicer. There's still something to be said for aesthetic appeal. It's going to be a war of attrition, I can tell. I wish that I had Trimmer so I could stop those units in their tracks. Oh, I was hoping this would happen. I love it when the monsters sit on the roads. Now I can show everybody how wonderful tactical battles are. Oh. See, if you have Compass, you might not want to use it if you have a bad computer, because it can take the game a really long time, or just crash if you don't have the memory to handle a good scouting capacity. Alright, I'll let people see sort of how I would like monsters to work in the vanilla game, although they don't, because I think that just for memory reasons, the game only has a few monsters in every army. which I don't, which wouldn't be a problem, except that it's hard to balance one unit to fight 9 units or 6 units, because you either have to make him so powerful he's killing off like 1 unit per turn, or give him such ridiculous armor that it just becomes totally a totally convoluted system. Pretty much just let my archers do the talking here. Baco the Bigger has impulsive, but he's also got low accuracy. Alright. So one advantage that they have is I can't really use Fireball very effectively on them because they're all single units. So I'll use Flame Dart. Might as well just pick off the back. Ah, yes. My Flame Darts are just as powerful. They're better against single units. Adds a little more variety to the game. Okay, Baco's turn again. Not quite a kill. And so if you'll notice, oh, that guy's level 3. Okay, so I've added a lot of variety to these kinds of monsters, the Twisted specifically. Some of them are level 3, some of them are level 9, some of them are level 20. It's all just sort of depends which layer they come from, and there's about 6 Butcherman layers. So you never know which one you're going to get. Oh, these are my light cavalry. I need to upgrade their shields and stuff, but it's nice that they get a one-handed spear and a shield. Perfect for light cavalry. Then I can just sort of swoop in here, pick off the weak. Perfect. Took forever for General Caritas to get going. I don't think he has impulsive, but he's got 25 initiative. Also, his bow doesn't have an initiative penalty because you longbows are elven in design or something like that. They're just better. Berserker's Axe. Not gonna use that. It's totally broken in this version. I think that's gonna be the White Whale of Elemental is getting Maul to work properly. Alright, so looking at where the game's probably going to go, hopefully I'll be able to finish this game. I don't know what the memory is going to be like later on. Actually, it seems to be getting better as I get closer to the mid-game, just because I've killed all of the monsters in this sector, and the AI has killed maybe 50% of the monsters, except in this little pocket, everywhere else. So basically, the only objects on the field are cities and faction units, and I would say that's probably 75% less than what we had in the beginning of the game. The beginning of the game ran fine, so hopefully performance stays about the same as it is now. I'm only waiting about 5 seconds in between turns, and that's on a 32-bit motherboard, so very impressed with the low resolutions. The only thing that sucks is the user interface, but you know what? The user interface isn't that great in high resolution, so it's a clear trade-off in one direction. So yeah, I'll post another video if I go to war with someone or something interesting happens. But I would guess that I'm just going to steamroll the AI at this point, because I find that the AI needs to be about 4 times more powerful than me in faction power before they start to pose a challenge. The only problem that I have right now is that I need to train maybe 3 or 4 more armies before I can really go on a rampage. But at the very least, this mod makes sieges more interesting, because every city you go to is going to have a fully mobile army, or not a fully mobile army, a full-powered army, and as the game goes on, those units will continue to get the best armor and equipment. One thing that would be nice to do, at least for the beta testing, is maybe in the cheats somewhere or in the options menu, increase game difficulty as I go along, because right now it would be nice to set everything on ridiculous, because that's basically at the point where the AI might be able to catch up to me. Everything right now is unchallenging, and it's about to get really unchallenging. Hope that other people are having similar experiences with this mod. I would be interested to see what other people say. Just gonna double check real quick that there isn't already a difficulty option. No, there's not.